60 years ago, Seongsu looked much different than it does today. Starting with the move of one of Korea's leading stationery brands, Monami's factory from Mapo to Seongsu in the 1960s, Seongsu grew into a representative semi-industrial area in downtown Seoul. Various light industrial facilities, such as shoe factories and printing shops, were and still are found there. As large corporations started to move to the metropolitan area, and due to the formation of unstructured housing in the 1980s, Seongsu became a space where residential and industrial functions were mixed. The opening of the subway line 2 in 1983 not only meant easier access to the area. Due to improved infrastructure, it also formed a unique landscape of Seongsu-dong, as both Tuksum and Seongsu Station were built above ground level. To find out about what the area looked like in the past, we turn to the residents who have seen it change.
There are still a few left, but in the past, coal briquette factories, blacksmiths, handicraft factories. Seongsu was completely industrial area.
Currently, Seongsu-dong is the largest handmade shoes industry complex in Korea. Other major industries concentrated in the area include the printing and automobile maintenance industries, as well as reinforced concrete factories.
Since Gumgang Shoes moved to Gumho-dong in 1967, many related industries began to gather in the neighboring Seongsu-dong. Since then, Seongsu has been the place of the largest handmade shoes industry agglomeration complex in Korea.
The Seoul Metropolitan Government's construction of a municipal automobile maintenance in Seongsu-dong in 1970 prompted the creation of large-scale maintenance and auto sales offices of companies such as Kia Motors and Hyundai Motors. As such, it became a representative automobile industry zone in Seoul. In the 1980s, printing shops came to Seongsu-dong in search of cheap labor costs and factory sites, which resulted in a full-fledged cluster. The Seongsu Remicon factory of Sampaio Industries, a symbol of modernization that has a long shared history with Seongsu and its residents, is currently being demolished. Seongsu, however, isn't all gloom and gray. A stark contrast to the scenery of the semi-industrial area, a large-scale green park is formed. Reborn as the Seoul Forest, from a racetrack that entered the area in 1954, the park starts representing Seoul in 2005.
Residents of Seongsu are near Seoul Forest, Han River, and Jungnon Stream. Do they use these natural environments a lot?
You should see them use it once a day. It's good for exercise.
There were a lot of people, so I thought outsiders used it a lot.
No. Residents should see it as 30 to 40%. With the decline of the manufacturing industry, and the rise in land prices, factories in Seongsu slowly became empty and abandoned. Though some factories remain in the area, this change has kept Seongsu an underdeveloped area for a while. In the 2010s, low rent prices in the area began to attract young people and artists. The heterogeneous harmony of the young atmosphere and the declining industrial area created a unique character of Seongsu that began to transform into a cultural space. The place that opened the door to these changes is the Daelim Warehouse, a cafe housed in a renovated rice mill factory. As mentioned, the success of the Daelim Warehouse, former warehouse turned cafe, transformed Seongsu into a so-called hot place, popular among younger generations. It brought other conceptual cafes and pop-up stores into the area. The inflow of commercial functions into Seongsu has been slowly, but surely, pushing out the residents, in a phenomenon not unknown to the Korean zoning system called gentrification. At the same time, as the industrial concept of Seongsu cafes has been copied over and over, Seongsu is beginning to lose its unique characteristic. Still, though rare, some of Seongsu's original features are still alive in the area, such as boutiques with handmade shoes as well as its automobile industry. Preserving these activities with strong ties to Seongsu's history can be opportunities for the area not to lose its identity. So we went out to hear citizens' opinions on the change in Seongsu-dong.
In the 70s, 80s, there were cultivated lands such as peanut fields, but they disappeared when the factory was built. Manufacturing, briquette factories, blacksmiths, and handicrafts were created. The racetrack was originally located but was moved to Gwacheon, Seoul. At the same time, there remains a basic mounted patrol on horseback, but now it is completely extinguished.
Very different. A lot of car repair shops are gone. There used to be a lot of big maintenance plants, but now there are only a few left. There was a plan to develop it into a mecca for automobiles. However, the reality is that only the service centers of major automobile companies are located in Seongsu. It should coexist with existing maintenance factories, but now maintenance factories have not survived due to detailed burdens and are being called. I am far from such a young culture. Even if I want to go and have a cup of coffee, I don't go often because I'm reluctant.
With the influx of young people, food and cafes that young people like have been introduced. On the contrary, however, handmade shoes were withdrawn. However, the handmade shoe street did not stagnate due to cafes, but the handmade shoe industry itself stagnated, and the timing naturally overlapped at this time.
Besides losing its identity, a problem Seongsu is facing is the deepening disconnection between different public groups, physically separated by the subway line into the north and south zones. Since Seongsu has been designated and developed as a mixed-use district by the government, exacerbated by the inconsiderate installation of the subway line dividing the whole area into two, functions are scattered and the area is unequally developed. These are the consequences of such development. This unbalanced development is also relevant in the chosen site. There is a huge contrast between the site itself and the developed parts of Seongsu. This is what a resident of the site, in one of the poorer districts of Seongsu, has to say about it.
This is Gangnam and the upper part of the subway is Gangbuk. There is a big difference in land prices. This site is nearly 20% more expensive than the upper subway station.
So, what can we do to improve the conditions of our site? How will this area develop in the future and what are the government plans? Recent developing technologies, like the artificial intelligence chatbot ChatGPT that can analyze copious amounts of data and provides a response to our prompt in a matter of seconds, only confirm what we have seen through our site survey. The area has seen a shift from traditional industries to more modern and high-tech sectors, such as IT, biotechnology, and renewable energy. The construction of large-scale mixed-use developments, including residential, commercial, and retail spaces, as well as public amenities such as parks and community centers has been observed. Combined, they contribute to a more cosmopolitan and modern feel to the area. Looking ahead, ChatGPT predicts that the area will continue to grow and develop, attracting more businesses and professionals to the district. The construction of new residential developments and public amenities is also expected to continue, with a focus on sustainable and energy-efficient buildings that incorporate green spaces, as well as are designed to be flexible and adaptable to different uses and needs. Indeed, the prediction of ChatGPT is in line with the current government plans for the redevelopment of the area. The area closest to the site, 1, is set to become another residential area mixed with greenery and commercial spaces. South of the site, 4, the once predominantly industrial area is, like already mentioned, becoming a popular spot for cafes and pop-up stores, frequented by the younger generations. Even further south, 5, facing the Han River, residential apartment complexes are to be constructed. To the east of the Seongsu station, 3, we are looking at the future IT infrastructure concentrated area. In fact, almost the entire Seongsu-dong area around the chosen site is set to be developed in the next 20 years. This makes the chosen site and its functions absolutely crucial in the scheme of Seongsu's development. Not only is it vital that it does not get left behind and stays abandoned, its program and the consequent revitalization of the area will help determine the direction of development for that particular neighborhood of Seongsu-dong and influence other projects in its vicinity. To gain some more insight into the perceptions, awareness and opinions about the area, we interviewed the residents, workers and visitors to the area of different ages.
As a resident, Seongsu is a very good place to live. In the past, there were many factories, so there was a perception that it was a little dangerous, but transportation is convenient because there are Gangbyon Expressway or an external circulation road while living. Also, the Han River and Seoul Forest are close together, so it's better to live on a flat land.
The changes in Seongsu, though, are not just empty plans for the future. They are beginning to occur already, with numerous construction sites popping up on every corner. All the plans and construction in Seongsu, however, do not mean that the future is set in stone. This considered, we must think about not only what is next for Seongsu, but also what we want for its future and how we can contribute to its sustainable and resident-friendly long-term development. How can we help stir Seongsu in the right direction so that it continues to be a lively and loved area for a long time?